Top 10 Scary Places That Should Have Stayed Secret. Decide for yourselves. Are these great tourist attractions, or are they simply places you must avoid at all costs? In this video, we highlight a list of 10 cities that you will never find in a traditional tourist brochure. These spots are supposed to creep you out, and if they do, then our job is completed, and you don't have to visit in person. So here we go. Number 10. Hanging coffins in Sagada, Philippines. What exactly do we mean when we say hanging coffins? It is exactly how it sounds. These coffins, which can be found in Sagada, are literally hanging. And this practice is only unique to the region. Thank God some other nationalities haven't caught the idea of burying their deceased in hanging coffins. This practice typically involves burying the dead aerially and vertically rather than in a 6-foot ditch. How is this achieved? The answer is simple: by burying the dead on the side of a cliff. Perhaps the word bury isn't the right one, so we'll use the example of showcasing the dead on the side of the cliff. Number 9. The Door to Hell. The Darvaza crater in Turkmenistan. Where the heck is Turkmenistan? Let's quickly check the world map. So, it's out in the middle of nowhere in the Russian Karakum Desert. And when you first set eyes on it, you immediately realize why the locals named it the Door to Hell. It's a 230-foot wide crater that has been burning continuously for up to 40 years. And we're not talking about Yellowstone National Park geysers here. Back in 1971, oil prospectors accidentally struck a methane reserve in the crater while searching for crude oil. The entire rig collapsed, and to make things worse, these smart scientists decided to set the place ablaze in a bid to burn out the methane. And so, the rest is history. 40 years later, and counting, it is still burning. Number 8. Capuchin Catacombs in Palermo, Italy. The Capuchin Catacombs unofficially hold the record as the creepiest catacombs in the world. Aren't catacombs supposed to be small and private, admitting only a select clientele? Well, these ones started out like that until word got out. Then everybody wanted to be buried there. The last time we counted, there were up to 8,000 bodies displayed in the Capuchin Catacombs, and all the dead in there are dressed to the nines. Did you also know that the catacombs are divided into sections? You have one for religious people and another for professionals. You also have a kids section and, strangely enough, a section for people who died as virgins. So if you decide to go down in there, get ready to be creeped out to the nines. Number 7. Snake Island in Sao Paulo, Brazil. This island is located about 90 miles off the coast of Sao Paulo, Brazil. And as the name suggests, it is infested with actual snakes. It is, in fact, one of the most dangerous islands in the entire world. And we're not referring to an Indiana Jones or a Lara Croft type of dangerous adventure. Actually, the island has a very high density of a species of snake known as golden lancehead vipers. A scan of the island suggests you'll find snakes everywhere you step. And these are not just regular snakes. Since the island was separated from the Sao Paulo mainland 11,000 years ago, the snakes have evolved to survive the isolation. So their poison is 5 times stronger, and the snakes hunt from treetops. The poison can even melt human flesh. Now, that's deep. Fortunately, visits to the island have been banned by the Brazilian government. Number 6. Sedlik Ossuary, Kutnahara, Czech Republic. František Tiny was a Czech woodcarver from a town called Kutnahara in the Czech Republic, and he is responsible for the macabre look of the Sedlik Ossuary Chapel. It's located beneath the Church of All Saints. You can check it out on Google if you like. The interior decor for which František is responsible is undoubtedly creepy for a chapel. You'd usually associate skulls and bones with devil worship, so judge for yourselves. Back in the early 14th century, a monk arrived at the adjoining monastery with sand from Israel and promptly scattered it on the grounds. Once word got out, everyone wanted to be buried there. So over the years, the place became packed with skeletal remains, and room had to be made for fresh corpses. The clergymen decided they didn't want the old bones to go to waste, so they employed František to do some magic. And the result is what you see. Number 5. Kawah Ijen Volcano, Java, Indonesia. Let's delve into a little volcanic chemistry. This volcano is located in Java, Indonesia. Sounds like a brand of coffee, but seriously? Seeing the volcano at work makes you think back to your high school days, when you wished you had a little more chemistry with your crush. This volcano is quite the spectacle to behold. First off, you have the sulfuric acid that burns at a temperature as high as 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The air around the mouth of the volcano is dense enough to suffocate an algae that doesn't even have a nose to begin with. The gaseous sulfur sometimes condenses into liquid, so rather than regular red flowing lava, you have a blue colored one. In addition, a nearby lake is full of hydrochloric acid and looks green due to the volcanic activity. Number 4. Haw Par Villa, Singapore. We suppose this is Singapore's answer to the Disneyland theme park. Except this one is not all fun and games. It's the exact opposite. It was built to scare the hell out of kids into doing the right things and making the right decisions in life. The park has been around for up to 82 years and probably predates any Disney park around the world. So let's go inside. And the first thing you notice is that the statues are not very kid-friendly. There are up to 1,000 of them, and they are indeed strange, like one with a human head and the body of a giant crab. If you think that's weird enough, wait till you get into the so-called 10 Courts of Hell. In this exhibition, you'd see various forms of capital punishment, but not the ones you might be used to. All in all, it portrays how a few particular punishments might fit the crime in the afterlife. So, take your kids over to Singapore if they're being naughty. Number 3. The Great Blue Hole, Belize. From the outside, this sinkhole looks daunting. It is 1,000 feet wide and has walls of limestone surrounding it. It is in fact described as a vertical cave that just so happens to be filled with water. It is located just off the coast of Belize with really beautiful corals and shallow blue waters. But then, there's the sinkhole in the middle of all of that. On further exploration, you'd find massive stalactite and stalagmite formations underneath the water. The hole and its limestone walls sit 40 feet above the surface. Once you are able to get on top of it, you'll end up looking into a deep, uncharted abyss. Okay, maybe it's not so uncharted because a lot of people have attempted to jump in, and they came back alive. Number 2. Aokigahara Forest, Yamanashi Prefecture, Japan. The Aokigahara Forest is located close to the bottom of Mount Fuji, and here's one of the reasons it's creepy. It is also known as Suicide Forest. In 2010, there were as many as 247 suicide attempts there. According to government figures, 54 of those individuals succeeded in killing themselves. That's roughly one suicide every 3 to 4 days. The only other location that has a higher suicide rate has to be the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. The forest is also very dense, and a hiker could easily get lost. On your way into the forest, you might come across a lot of suicide notes and suicide memorabilia, like stuff people utilized to pass on a final message to the world. We hope you're not one of those sorts of people if you ever plan on visiting the forest. Number 1. Veijo Roukonen Sculpture Garden, Parakala, Finland. Let's meet the reclusive Finnish sculptor named Veijo Roukonen. He was indeed a maestro of the sculpting art form, but he blatantly refused to show his work in public. Instead, he created a sculpture garden in his backyard comprising his life's work. This included as many as 500 creepy figures with evil grins and sunken-looking eyes. There's even a group of 200 pieces of the artist doing yoga poses. The freak and creep factor is enough to cause you countless sleepless nights, even if you're a seasoned adult. So that's it for this one. Now, have you ever been to any of these sites? Let's know about it in the comment section. And remember to subscribe to our channel and click on the notification bell button to see more of our videos. Thanks for watching.